number of the day is 8.
Okay, so I had to hit you with the Sesame Street, and this is the reason why. We're going to be dealing with the number 8 today. Okay, so we're going to go to Revelation 17 and 10 so I can show you why. And it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he is come, he must continue a short space. Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. That's the number we're dealing with today, and is of the 7 and goes into perdition. Okay, so now let's break this down verse by verse and brick by brick. Okay, so we're dealing with 7 kings here. It's divided. First there's 5 that are fallen. There's the 1 is, and then there's 1 that's to come. Okay, so it'll look a little something like this. So right here we see this is just verse 10 broken down. You have 5 fallen, 1 present, and 1 future. Okay, this is going to be basically a roadmap in breaking down verse 10. So let's deal with the 5 that are fallen, since that comes first. Okay, now as we've done in previous videos, we know that this is us breaking down and connecting what Daniel says, since this is a Daniel prophecy. As we continue, Daniel 5 from the top, we see that there's 2 kings of Babylon. Okay, you have the first, which was Nebuchadnezzar. Then you have his son when Nebuchadnezzar was knocked down. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar's son was in power when the Medes came in by the end of that same chapter, verse 30 through 31. So as we move forward, we see that this kingdom had 4 heads, or kings, that is. Okay, but this 4 is broken down 3 and then 1. It's still the same number 4 for that same kingdom. How is this pertinent to the 5 that are fallen? Well, when you take the 2 kings of Babylon and the 3 that you see mentioned from the Medo-Persians, what is 2 plus 3? It's 5. This is your 5 that are fallen. So when we go back to Daniel 11 and 2, well, we're not going to just throw the 4th one in the trash. We still have that 1. That's the 1 that's the 4th one. That concludes the first 6 kings, the 2 from Babylon and the 4 from Persia. Okay, so we still have 1 more. This represents the future, the one that's to come. Who would that be? Well, we already have that figured out as the mighty king that shall stand up out of Greece. Who was that? First Maccabees 1 and 1. We see that as Alexander, son of Philip. Then we have our Maccabean Greek rule. Okay, that concludes the 7 heads. That's the 5 that are fallen, the 1 that is present, the 1 that is, and the 1 that's to come. This is different when you actually use the precepts that come with this. We won't look foolish like we do a lot of times when we get these leaders, these group leaders that want to make the prophecy what they say it is versus what it actually is. Okay, kind of like a certain somebody from a previous video who says, you know what, don't listen to Daniel, that's not what it is.
Okay, now many Bibles will precept you back to Daniel 7. However, it's not saying that this beast is made up of the Persians and the Medes, or what was one of the other in Daniel 7? The Babylonians. What else? And Rome.
But that's exactly what it is, okay? Because this book also references what Daniel was talking about. Revelation 13 and 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a what? A leopard. And his feet were as the feet of a what? A bear. And his mouth is the mouth of a what? A lion. And the dragon gave him his power. That's not Esau. That's the actual dragon that the book tells us, which is Satan. His seat and his great authority, okay? This leopard, this bear, And this lion is the leopard that we see in Daniel 7, the bear that we see in Daniel 7, and the lion that we see in Daniel 7. This is a Daniel prophecy. So now as we go back to chapter 17 of Revelation, verse 11, we're going to deal with this 8th one, because today we're dealing with the number 8. So let's see and reveal who this is. So we see, as we've done before in Luke 3 and Luke 2, from the top of both chapters, we see that Caesar Augustus is the final king. Okay, he's the final king. Again, there's this little horn out of this particular kingdom, Daniel 7 and 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up, what? Among them a little horn. Well, what does this mean? 7 and 24. And the 10 horns out of this one kingdom. It's not French, German, none of that European stuff that certain camp members would tell you.
Right, it's got 7 heads. The 7 heads, of course, represent Britannia, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Rome, Greece, France, Spain.
It's 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings, okay? The fact that it's telling you it's a king lets you know that it has nothing to do with today, okay? That shall arise, and another shall arise after them. This is the same little horn, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he, okay. So as we move forward, this topic also connects with 2nd Esdras, dealing with the number 8. 2nd Esdras 12 and 19. And whereas you saw the 8 small under feathers sticking to her wings, this is the interpretation. So am I going to give an interpretation? Nah. Verse 20 will. That in him there shall arise 8 kings. This is 8 kings, okay? Whose time shall be small and their years swift. And it actually breaks it down as we move forward. And 2 of them shall perish, the middle time approaching. I wonder who these 2 are. As we move forward, 4 shall be kept until their end, begin to approach. 4. I can't make this stuff up. But 2 shall be kept until the end. Let's see about these 2. One of them we already addressed. This is number 7. First Maccabees 1 and 1. Alexander, son of Philip. Then who was the 8th? We've already covered that too in Luke. This is Caesar Tiberius Augustus, the raiser of taxes. That's all we're doing. It's none of this modern day. I don't even know why people assume, who is that today? Who says it has to even be today? And that's what's not connecting with people who are making up their own prophecy and disconnecting it from the book of Daniel. That's all I have for today, as it is written, and I'm out.